After who knows how long of this being suggested, we are finally getting a prestige store, or what's going to be called the merit store, in the Rise to War, which, regardless of how this is implemented, is something that has been asked for, probably up there with respect refund system or just commander rework or balance updates or whatever it is. So people who love prestige get all that prestige and want something to do with it. And we're finally getting that. More details coming up in just 1 second. All right, this update came out earlier today at about 9 a.m., at least my time. So about 6 hours ago, this update came out, and it is the Merit Store feature upgrade. Notice there are two posts here we're going to go through pretty quickly, but it says, "Dear Tacticians, PvP is an essential part of the game," which is true. "We realize that numerous tacticians are interested in the PvP feature, and that every tiny change on the battlefield is a reflection of their decision-making ability and power. The following changes will be introduced so that active players can reap greater benefits from their efforts." So yeah, PvP is like the deciding factor of what happens in the game. So finally getting some more things in that realm, which is good. Name adjustment: prestige. First of all, merit will now take the place of the term prestige. I don't know why, but they want to do that. So either way, why they did this, I don't know, but merit will take the place of the term name prestige, which is a kind of honor point generated in the process of engaging with other tacticians' armies, and a more suitable representation of its positioning and a combat honor currency. The name prestige will be the only aspect of this content adjustment this time. Neither the actual source or calculation method will be changed, nor will the final rankings be affected. So prestige is not changing in any way to perform other than the name. It's like when they changed from mock battling to mind sharpening. Maybe they just want it to sound more thematic, and maybe if you're a new player and merit's fine, that's great. But for those of us who've been playing for almost 2 years, I'm going to say prestige probably for the rest of this game's life. So it's just kind of funny that they do these weird things, but it's called merit now. You earn merit exactly the same as prestige. Here we have a kind of pixelated image of a battle where, you know, this tactician here running an awful looking Gandalf the White gets this reward down here, this merit for their, you know, not really winning the battle, but for what they did in the battle, they get this reward, which is 1925 merit. Now here we get some details on what exactly this merit will get us in this merit store. So it says, "New merit store feature. The merit store feature has been added to the market in your settlement." So where you go into your settlement and go to the market and it can exchange resources, you know, that thing that we used to do but then got nerfed. The merit, i.e. prestige, you gain by fighting against other tacticians can be exchanged for resources and items in the merit store. Furthermore, there will be a limited time the amount of merit you can retain. Merit exceeding the limit will be removed at reset every Monday. The merit store will be available after a specific level of server progression is reached. Now, we don't get any legitimate details here of, you know, how much the max merit is, or how much things cost, or what these values equate to. It looks to me like these top 4 bundles are like just a chunk of every resource, and these ones at the bottom are an individual one. Whether that changes at all, I don't know. Now, again, these are going to be like finite season specific rewards, it sounds like, so this won't be a way to get gear or things like that. If people were hoping for that, it's just not going to be the case. But it says you can exchange for resources and items in the merit store. So again, I guess let's never say never, but to me it seems like it's going to be resources, which is, there's not really a way to get just to get like bulk amounts. So resources, speed ups, those kind of things, that's probably what we'll see here. Not so much like gems and mathams or items, but maybe there'll be really unique times that you can use it. We'll find out. It then says the total number of merit you have obtained during seasons and campaigns will not be reduced after exchanging in the store, and this will not affect your final ranking. So your total prestige or merit, it'll still be tracked as its total, and as you spend it, that won't affect how much you finish with in the season. For those of you who like to go for your prestige or now merit record every season. And now the final details on when this is going to the game. It says the above adjustments will take effect on all servers after the update on July 5th. It's currently June 28th, so a week from this video going out. Detailed content is subject to change the in-game rules. Make sure you read them carefully. We hope these adjustments will allow you to fully engage in combat. Yada, yada, yada. Everything's subject to change. Let them know if you have any suggestions. So I'm curious what you guys think. For me, overall, I've been very happy with the game lately, just in the amount of updates we're getting. And this is one of those things that for a long time we've just accumulate millions of prestige every season, or whatever it is. Over a lot of seasons you get millions ideally, and there's nothing to really do with it other than just brag about it, which is fun. I do like getting prestige and bragging about it, but there's no real purpose to get it, and there's no reason that players want to engage more to get that. So adding a shop that allows players who are fighting a lot to get more resources to continue doing the thing they enjoy makes sense to me. Now, on a counterpoint, I will say, I hope they look at finding a way to reward players who don't do PvP, but have a huge impact on the game. For example, pathing, tiling, flipping red tiles for your team, or connecting so that people can attack is almost as crucial as the actual fights themselves, if not more, depending on your season. I have been in servers where we have lost because we just got out pathed, out tiled, whatever it is. So that is a huge aspect of the game, taking tiles, pathing around. So I would love for them to find a way that they can actually quantify, red tiles taken give you something, whether it be merit. So just if you do a high volume of tile flipping, you do get merit. So you can also benefit from this, or there's some other calculation, just like red tiles taken, and every whatever tiles you take, you get some kind of reward. I don't know what it is, but to me, pathing is just as key in this game to fighting, and teams that do that well and have a good balance do really well, and those that don't, if you have too much of one, you don't do well. So I like that this encourages fighting, but I don't want it to discourage players who don't fight, or players who aren't hugely whaled and taking out a bunch of armies, players that are free to play, whatever it is, because they will be receiving less of the merit, and if you're that player, you're probably used to that. So I would love, in addition to this update in the future, if we saw something to address that, or to start quantifying tiles taken by players. Again, whatever, if it's merit or its own new currency, I don't really care. But to me, that's a very valuable thing, and you want players to do both those things. So those are my immediate thoughts, but let me know what you guys think. Again, very, very interesting, and just happy we keep getting content. So I'd love this to continue for the game's life duration, and hopefully things are on a good spot. I'm just like holding my breath that we don't get a 6-month period of radio silence. So devs, if you're watching, whoever's watching that might have contact with the devs, I think this is the kind of stuff the players want to see. More updates, more communication, letting us know why you're doing things and how it's going to impact the game, and we go from there. So I'm happy with this. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, I'll see you in a future video.